Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done.
on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive
Forgive
us
us
our
our
trespasses,
trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
and lead us
Not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom,
the power, and
the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everybody. We will start with item D, the approval of minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes shall stand approved from the June 2nd, 2025 regular council meeting. So I'm hearing no corrections, those will stand approved. Item E is citizen communication. If anyone is in attendance tonight that would like to address council for any matter outside of the agenda, now would be the time to do so. We just ask that you sign your name and address and contact info on that sheet there at the podium. Whenever you start, I will give you 5 minutes, sir, but the floor is all yours.
Name and address. Out loud.
Good call. If you would, just state your name and address for the record as well, please.
You said name and address?
Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Alan Meyer. My address is 530 West Washington Street, Napoleon.
Welcome, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
Yeah, have a little bit prepared here. So I'm a current resident here in Napoleon and have enjoyed living here my entire life. What I want what is best for our city and understand there needs to be structure for things to run well. I'm a college graduate and currently work as an advanced manufacturing engineer. I include this information because this zoning violation process that I'm about to explain has been very confusing to me. I hope that coming here tonight to share my experience can help other residents in Napoleon and improve our city. I have quite a bit to say about our current issue I am working through with our city manager and zoning administrator. Before I get into, I want you to understand that I want to speak the truth in a respectful way. I have been made aware of the fact that I have a zoning violation regarding the location of my RV/bus conversion down on by the river behind the Northwest State or Signal building. I have received 2 violation letters that have copied and pasted code with no explanation of how I have violated that code. The code is not specific. It has bullet points under each item. When I read through it, I have questions as to how it applies to me in my situation. My goal is not to get special treatment, but to understand how I have broken this code and suggest that the process of how the code violations are handled be reassessed. I received a zoning violation notice saying I violated codes 1141.01 and 1105.02. The introductory sentence speaks about a zoning violation saying there's an issue with the use of my recreational vehicle, but the codes copied and pasted below say nothing about an RV, what I need to do, and so forth. So I called and spoke with the zoning administrator on the phone, and he said we would let it go this week until the city manager got back from vacation the following week. So the zoning administrator spoke with the city manager, and I received a call from the zoning administrator informing me that my RV must be moved. I requested clarification as to why that was, and I was told that I needed to speak to the city manager directly. So I called her and left a message. In the meantime, I received a second zoning violation stating the same issue. So then on that Friday afternoon, I got a call back from the city manager saying that I needed to apply for a conditional use permit, but it could not be could not be used as an Airbnb, which I had told Kevin that was an initial intent from the get-go. I asked the city manager if the RV can stay there until the appeal/conditional use process played out, and she was not sure of that at the time. I also asked for the code violation information about the Airbnb since it had not yet been provided to me. She said she'd call me back on Monday with that information. I didn't receive a call back on Monday or Tuesday, so I called her Wednesday morning, and she informed me that the RV must be moved by Monday, or I'd be served a third violation, which would result in me going to court. When I asked for Airbnb clarification on why that couldn't be there, that was not provided. So then I explained to her that that only gives me 2 days to move the RV, and that I didn't know where to put it. And direct quotes on what feedback I got for that was, "I think it is ugly. I'm new here, and I do not want my city to look ugly. And you're a grown adult. There are plenty of places that offer paid storage. You can find one and park it there. There were no exceptions or negotiations. Just do what I say or go to court." This is even after I explained how nearly every lot around me is storing and/or actively using RVs. For example, there's a storage facility 2 lots west of where mine is, that the city manager admitted probably had zoning issues in and of its own, and suggested that I park my RV there. And there's also a 6-camper campground 2 lots east of where my camper is, as well as there's campers all throughout Riverview and all throughout Napoleon. So I spoke with Mayor Joe Ballerucci about the situation, and he was very helpful. He requested that I get an extension on having to move it, which they granted. They, being the city manager and zoning administrator, granted a 2-week extension, which I was grateful for, obviously. He requested zoning clarification, which the zoning administrator agreed to. So then I received a letter from the zoning administrator stating that it has come to attention that I didn't understand the codes that I was violating. And then below that was more copied and pasted zoning violations with no further explanation. Some of which didn't necessarily even apply, such as the bed and breakfast information, and that didn't, in the letter, have any coding citations, so I really don't know where that came from, and still didn't explain the wrongdoing that I was doing. It doesn't say anywhere in there, in what he sent again, that RVs can't be there. It does refer to automobiles, trucks, and trailers, but never recreational vehicles, which in the code is always referred to separately. Doesn't say anything about Airbnbs. I am planning to meet with Kevin and talk through these things, but obviously time is limited. We have a meeting scheduled for Monday, next Monday, so we'll be talking about that.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for all the information. Mr. Mayor, do you have any insight, since you were involved in a conversation previously?
Just from hearing from both sides a little bit, it sounds like we do need to look into getting more clarification. If you still don't understand it, I haven't read through the violations or the code myself. Obviously you did, and if it's,
As much as I could.
I don't know if Billy, our law director, I know you haven't read into this, but have you looked at any of the code violations, or what he's saying?
I'm not aware of this one. I've not seen it, so I wouldn't be able to comment exactly on the facts anyway, and I've not memorized the code either.
Right.
I'd be happy to look at it going forward.
Mr. Mayor, you said your meeting with Kevin Schulteis was this coming Monday or next week?
Yeah, that is correct, because this was a short week, and that was the soonest we could do.
I did not see the first 2 notifications that Mr. Meyer received, but I did see the 3rd one. And my understanding is that you're parked in a C4, which has very specific use, approved uses. Business must take place in a covered building, which if your Airbnb is running out of a bus beside a building, that is not allowed, so that was a violation. Additionally, no storage of vehicles in the C4. And so as it is a bus, it is a vehicle storage. And I believe Mr. Schulteis said that he had some options for you if you wanted to use it for personal camping, but to run your business there was not permitted.
Yeah, I haven't been able to speak to him about that, because obviously there's kind of 2 conversations going, being an Airbnb and just being an RV used down there, both of which I would like to do. So obviously there can be some conversation there, but we haven't spoke about those options yet. Understand that it's in a C4, but I think everything I still said applies, in which there are RVs throughout C4 in every zoning district in Napoleon. And I know a comment was made that I may not know if they were served with a zoning violation, which is correct. I cannot know that about everybody, but there are a lot of them. Just drive around and look, and you'll see probably hundreds.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Meyer. Curious of how your meeting next week with Kevin goes. Lori, do you plan on being in that meeting? Do you know?
I was not aware.
Okay.
I wasn't aware that you would be here tonight either. I would have brought, better notes and whatnot that I could share with you, but that's what I can remember from the conversation.
I think getting all parties in the room would certainly help. So
Okay.
if I can be involved in any capacity, I'm happy to do so as well. And if it needs to go to Board of Zoning or whatever, we can discuss that as well. So thank you for all of the information and the updates. We certainly appreciate your time and look forward to further conversation.
Yep, thank you for the
What time
opportunity.
is your meeting with Kevin next week?
It was scheduled for 4:30 on Monday.
4:30. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Meyer.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Any other citizen communication this evening? Hearing none, we'll move to item F, reports from council committees. F1, the electric committee did not meet on June 9th, 2025 due to being canceled by the chair. F2, the water, sewer, refuse, recycling, and litter committee did not meet on June 9th due to lack of agenda items. F3, the municipal properties, building, land use, and economic development committee did not meet on June 9th, 2025 due to lack of agenda items. And finally, F4, the parks and recreation commission did not meet earlier tonight due to lack of agenda items. We move to item H. H is introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. H1 is resolution number 022-25, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds in excess of $50,000 for the purpose of purchasing a fire truck for the City of Napoleon Fire Department and to award said purchase to Herb Fire Equipment and declaring an emergency. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Thank you. Lori, Kevin, rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
You want to go? You want me to?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay. So this is the resolution authorizing the expenditure. So the other resolution, just for reference, is that allows us to get the bonding and the funds for the possible purchase of the vehicle. This here allows us to then said purchase the vehicle from Herb Fire Equipment. It has just come to my attention that we actually pay the company called Supfin Corporation. They're the ones that make the fire truck. Herb Fire Equipment are just the salesmen of this matter. And this information was given to me within the last 30 minutes. So we, with the help of Billy, we may have to amend this moving forward.
Yeah,
Just
if
a
you would
name.
direct, I'm sorry, if you would direct me to amend, then we'll have it fixed for the next reading.
But we should be able, if we do pass it tonight, then move to second with the amendment.
If it's approved tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, let's be clear. Yeah, if it's approved tonight, it'll move on to second read with that amendment and everything's the same.
Okay, so just, there will be a correction to this if it moves forward tonight. So,
Any questions from council? If not, I would entertain a motion to amend the legislation, please.
Second.
Thank you. And please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave,
Yes.
Brittany,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes. Okay. And we will also take a vote on the amended resolution, please. And please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dr. Dave,
Yes.
Brittany. Yes. Ross.
Yes. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Billy. That will move to second read. Item H2 is ordinance number 023-25, an ordinance approving current May 2024 through April 2025 replacement pages to the City of Napoleon codified ordinances. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Lori?
Okay, this is in response to the semi-annual review by American Legal Publishing, formerly known as Walter Drain Company, of the ordinances and the updates that are needed.
There was a mistake in there. Eagle-eyed councilperson Bobby Weitzel found a mistake and let us know about it. We did get that fixed prior to this reading tonight, so it's my understanding, and I did read through it pretty thoroughly, that everything's correct. But we did find one mistake and get that fixed before it showed up in front of council.
Perfect. Nice catch, Councilman Weitzel.
Good job.
He might know something about traffic code.
That helps.
A monicum.
Any questions or comments from council? All right, I'm hearing none. Ann, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. All right, that will also move to second reading. Item I is second reading of ordinances and resolutions. I-1 is ordinance number 020-25, an ordinance allowing ODOT to work inside city limits to remove and replace the existing pavement on US 624 from the US 6 interchange to the Maumee River Bridge and repair bridges within the same section and declaring an emergency. Is there a motion?
Second.
Thank you. Lori?
All right, this is the authorization that ODOT needs to do work within the city. This work is scheduled for September 1st of 2026. They wish to have the legislation by this coming September, so we would have no need for suspension.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Good. I'm hearing none. Ann, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. That will move to third read. Thank you, Lori. Item I-2 is ordinance number 021-25, an ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $650,000 for the purpose of paying the cost of improving the municipal fire facilities by acquiring a pumper fire truck together with all necessary and related appurtenances thereto and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Thank you. Kevin? you want that?
Sure, I'll take that. This is just the second read of the many discussed bonding process of obtaining the fire truck funds. There's no changes from the first read, so I would ask that we pass the second to move to third.
I did see those questions and answers in the council packet that Chief Bowen had answered for me, and I appreciate that, Chief. Are there any other questions or comments from council? There's been a lot of discussion on this one, so I'm excited to call the roll, and if you would, please.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. I'll move to third read. Item J, third reading of ordinances and resolutions. J1 is resolution number 019-25, a resolution authorizing the transfer of certain property to wit, approximately 15.705 acres, more or less of real property, part of parcel number 41-110048.0000, owned by the city of Napoleon, to the Community Improvement Corporation of Henry County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Thank you, too. Lori?
All right, this is the third and final read to complete the transfer of the 1602 Glenwood Avenue property to the CIC.
Thank you, Lori. Do you know a closing date on that by chance? Not yet.
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Anything from council? I'm hearing none. Ann, please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. All right, that has passed on third read under emergency. We'll move to item K, good of the city. K1 is discussion or action, the approval of the power supply cost adjustment factor for June 2025, SPSCA 3-month average factor 0.01747, and JV2 0.043445. Lori?
All right, this is the 3-month rolling average. Looks to me like everything is in line with what it usually looks like at this time of year. I'll let Kevin add anything if there is anything.
There's really nothing more to add. It's just that it's our 3-month rolling average based off the usage and the cost of this time frame, and it's pretty much in line of this time every year. So I I would ask for approval.
Thank you, too. Unless there are any questions from council, I would entertain a motion to approve, please. Tom, second. Okay, and please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes, that has been approved. Item K2, discussion or action, second quarter budget adjustments and 2026 tax budget. Okay.
So what we're asking is to direct the law director to draft the appropriate legislation for the items that will be discussed in next Monday's Finance Committee, Budget and Finance Committee meeting. So then it would come to council the first Monday of July. So we do this every quarter. It's just directing law director to get those items ready. Yeah, and the only difference is this one here, in addition to the budget adjustments, is that we have to annually present the tax budget to the Budget Commission of the county per statute, and we do this one time a year, and it's due like the end of July. So there is a separate resolution that comes with that. We've also passed that every year, but it's the time of year that we need to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Do we have a motion to direct the law director?
Second.
Thank you. And please call the roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. All right. We'll go around the table. Lori, can I start with you?
Sure. I'd just like to request that a discussion of e-bikes and motorized scooters be referred to the Safety and Human Resources Committee.
Yep.
Please.
Mr. Chair?
Yep, we'll take that.
Thank you.
And scheduling of the meeting, just, I guess, based on,
Yeah, I think we're gonna shoot for 6:30 next week. I think it's next Monday.
okay,
I'm just waiting to make sure that Brittany Roof is good with it. We'll move it from 7:30 to 6:30.
okay. That's all I had. Thanks.
Thank you, Lori. Billy?
Two short things from me. If I could introduce Stephen Maloney, who's in the back. He's our assistant law director currently on contract. He's helping us in the Muni Court. He's going to be sitting here in July while I'm in Spain. Don't rent that, please. So I'm going to give him everything he absolutely needs. Tammy's going to help me. I'm going to still be paying attention while I'm on vacation, of course. I don't expect that I'll ask him to do too many things, but he will be here to answer your questions. He's got a lot to do anyway. But there he is. I'm going to try to kick him out of here before we go to executive session, just in case it takes a little bit of time. But that's his face, and he'll be seated here. If you have any questions for the law department at council, he'll answer them, or try to, or at least write them down, and we'll get you an answer. So that's-
Welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you. And if I could ask an executive session for pending litigation, I don't plan on taking more than 5 minutes, just to give you a quick update.
Jordan?
Nothing for me this evening.
Bobby?
Nothing.
Ms. Hayes?
I had a couple of questions for the engineer, but I see he's not here. So, is there an answer available for the possibility that the railroad is going to fix its crossing on Oakwood Street as they promised last year when we did our construction?
Right. All I know is what the previous city manager told me was that that was coming, but I've heard nothing, and there's been no communication with me personally, so.
Okay, and there's some flags put up on Railroad Street, like survey-type markers. Is there any idea what that's about?
No, I have no idea.
I'm sure we can get those answers and maybe include them in the weekly summary, Lori, if possible.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Mr. Mayor?
Nothing.
Brittany? Dr. Dave? Tom?
Good, thank you.
Kevin?
I do have one item, and it's about House Bill 335 that was introduced to you recently from Representative David Thomas out of Jefferson. And this is something that we all need to keep an eye on. If you read on Saturday's paper, there was an article where the county auditor discussed this with the county commissioners. what this could possibly do, well, if this passes in the current state, it could eliminate the inside millage of our village. And just some rough numbers here is that I took last year's inside millage, we received $613,000 and change dollars. And it's, some of this is earmarked for police pension fund, some of it's for the fire department's pensions. It all ends up going towards the general fund cost. So I don't want to say what cuts we would have to make if we don't find ways to obtain this funding if this was eliminated from it. The options would be is to pass a property tax levy, because what inside millage is non-voted taxes, and that's what they want to eliminate. Or we would have to pass an increase in our income tax. And this is just preliminary, and I'm just throwing this out as those are basically our two options to recoup the $613 and change. If we did not recoup that amount, and again, this is not, I'm very cautious when I say this, various cuts may have to be made. That's a big chunk of change for us to absorb out of the general fund. And I don't have any ideas what those cuts would be. That would be certainly a discussion point amongst committees. But the Ohio Municipal League certainly is against this. County Auditors Association is against it. The County Commissioners Association is against this. Every school district is certainly against this. All entities that receive inside millage. The only inside millage that would not be affected would be townships, because they do not have the ability to enact a sales tax, or excuse me, an income tax. The idea basically is that you're gonna have to put stuff on the ballot and have your citizens pass any type of things. They're not going to allow any more unvoted property taxes. So I don't know if this has legs. I don't know what the governor feels about this, but it is out there. And it's, I just think that it's a big enough thing out there that certainly council needs to be aware of it. And as this moves forward, I can certainly keep council informed.
Thank you, Kevin.
That's all I have.
Thank you for the information. Last week, I failed to greet our new clerk of council. Okay, so I would just like to do so this evening. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're very happy to have you and
Appreciate that.
look forward to working with you. Outside of that, I would just request an executive session for the sale and for the sale and purchase of property. If I could have a motion to go into executive session for that matter, please.
So moved?
Second?
And please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. And also an executive session item for pending litigation. If we could have a motion to go in there, please.
I'll motion.
Second?
Thank you. And please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. All right. All right. Can we have a motion to come out of executive session for the sale or purchase of property, please?
Motion?
Second?
Thank you. And please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave? Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. All right. No action taken. I would entertain a motion to direct the law director to draft the necessary legislation to acquire the Heller Eller property.
That's perfect. There it is.
Perfect. Do we have a motion, please?
So moved. Second?
I think we got that. And please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom? Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. Can we also have a motion to come out of executive session for pending litigation?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. And please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes. And no action taken there. We move to item M, approve payment of bills and financial reports. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the payment of bills and financial reports shall stand approved. I'm hearing none, they will stand approved. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
And please call the roll.
Ken?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany? Yes. Ross?
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.